Hey, it's Jim. I'm just going to, I realized I was in the middle of air layering off this, I don't know what it is, some sort of disectum Tamukeyama off the top of an Acer palmatum. And I had earlier shown it in my garden tour video where I purchased it for $25 and it barely had a tiny little nugget coming out. Well, when I show it to you in a sec, you're gonna see that my $25 was well spent. Well, it's time, it's very early July, and it's time to air layer off the top part because I don't really like the Tamukeyama disectum for bonsai, but I'm going to take off the top and just keep the thicker based Acer palmatum, but I'm going to take it off right below the graft. But I was started to do that, and then I realized I'm going to go ahead and video this, so I'm going to flip it around and then show you what that looks like. All right, so here's this tree I bought for $25. It's a pretty nice thick base for this Acer palmatum, and it comes up, and I started this air layer right below the graft. You can see the graft right there, and here's the top part now. I believe I've had this tree about 2 months maybe, and I think when I showed it in the garden tour, I think it was just either nothing on it or just a tiny little you know, probably like this leaf right here was a tiny little knuckle of 1/4 of an inch, and then it's gone absolutely bonkers. Yeah, I think I mentioned that the person broke it. You can see up there it was broken. It was a big guy in their nursery, local nursery here, and I'm in Georgia, but the nursery was in South Carolina, just across the border, and he broke it off, and it was just sitting there almost like a stump, and I asked if I could have it for, he said make me an offer. I said 25 bucks, and he said, well, okay, but if it doesn't grow, I'll give you your money back. I said, no, I don't want my money back, but you can give me a credit. So he said fine. So anyway, so I think it was $25 well spent. I'm gonna take this off right here. I'm gonna have a nice thick trunk, you know, disectum of some sort. It might be a Tamukeyama, I don't really know. It's the more popular around here, but I have a Tamukeyama. It looks a little more wispy than this is less wispy than my other Tamukeyama, so I'm not entirely sure what it is, but I don't really care that much right now. I just mostly bought it for that thick trunk Acer palmatum, which you can see with this chisel, it's probably a good 2 inches probably at the base, maybe a little wider at the very bottom, and it's got a good spread down here, so I can't wait till the spring so I can open this up and repot it, maybe, and see what's going on. But anyway, so I will, so far I've just made the ring cut, and I started to scrape the cambium and stuff, so I just haven't gotten too far, but I wanted to show you this tree and where I'm going. So I will do my thing, and then afterwards I'll show you the final result, maybe an intermediary step. Okay, I'm done scraping the cambium and stuff, so you can see that it's very white here. It's also very dry, so so I just scrape down until I get bone dry wood. I use a razor blade to cut a nice clean edge on the top and bottom, and then I use a chisel to get the bark off, and then I personally use my little pocket knife because it's nice and stiff, and it doesn't bend or give me any resistance when I am scraping the cambium off to get down to the wood layer. So yeah, so that's basically where we are, you know. And then it's a standard hormone powder, and then plastic with some sphagel moss. In this case I'm using orchid moss, but same deal. So and by the way, when I bought this tree, I told the guy if it takes, I was really very interested in this, but if it takes, I would just air layer off the top. And he said, oh, you're gonna air layer that thick? Good luck with that. So I pretty much knew I'd be able to air layer this Acer palmatum, so maybe he doesn't try to air layer such big things because he's a nursery and he tries to get top dollar for the thick stock, and then he'll I did see some air layers on his nursery, but he typically air layers sort of that size right there. By the way, that is I think is a root cutting from a crepe myrtle. I had no idea if you can do a root cutting from a crepe myrtle, but I said, you know, I said to myself, well, I wonder if you can do a root cutting from a crepe myrtle. I had a little a little root cutting from trimming that up, and I basically just stuck it in this pot and said, just wanted to see what would happen. And for a long time, nothing happened, which is indicative of crepe myrtles. When you think they're dead, just leave them be, because 2 weeks later, they'll be like this. So I've had more than one example of crepe myrtles that I thought were dead that come back to life. So just be patient with them. But yeah, there you go. I'm pretty sure, like I said, that was a root cutting. And I said, let's just see what happens. And there you go. So I'm almost done. I've made my cone out of the see-through plastic, and I've posted a lot of moss, orchid whatever, sphagnum moss, and I'm ready to seal it up. But this is the method I've found the most success with. I think in a previous video that I've tried the cup methods, and they've not been as successful. And I just seal this up. I personally don't leave any drippage at the bottom or anything. I just have fairly wet moss, and I let condensation do its thing and seal it up nice and tight with wire. And then if when it comes through the clear plastic, I can start seeing the roots, and I give it another week or two, and then I probably take it off. I'll open it up and take a look and take it off. So anyway, this is the intermediary step, and I'll take one more video when I'm all done. All right, so here we go. This is done. You can see that it's got a good chunk of moss around it. It's pretty wet. It's already condensating. Just wrap the wire around it so that it's easy to check when it's nearing the end and take off. I used to use electrical tape, but electrical tape sticks so much and it's a pain. I just found the wire a lot easier. And then in this case, I usually put zip ties rather snugly, but not like ripping into the bark bottom and top, just to sort of seal everything in. And yeah, so that'll be fine. Probably about 4 to 6 weeks I'll get something good, and I can take this off, and then I will be left with my ultimate goal, which is what I wanted, which is this nice thick Acer palmatum. And then I'll start growing the I'll probably take it off. You can already see I've got something down here. Hopefully that stays, and I'll take it off pretty low, and then either grow it up and get some shape to it, or I will turn it into just a short stumpy tree. I don't quite know, but we'll see. But it's going to take a couple of years to develop it. Anyway, so there you go. This is this one, and I will, when I take it off, I will hopefully be successful and show you another video of that. Thanks. Have a good day. Talk to you later. So this is a Japanese maple ryosin that I just did a air layer on as well. So we will check the progress of that when this is all over. I just did them a day different, so hopefully they'll show up about the same.